join a company
that you are the person that
show good sell, yeah? Bring in good energy. Welcome to Crypto OGs. Welcome to Crypto OGs. I'm very excited today. We have a special guest. We're here in Dubai in the Micro Studio in front of the Burj Al Arab, and we have one of the smartest women in Web3, Michela Silvestri. Michela, thank you so much for coming to Crypto OGs, and thank you so much for coming to the Micro Studio as well. How do you find everything here?
It's excellent. The studio is so spacious. The team is very welcoming, and thank you so much for having me here.
No worries. So let's start from the beginning. Tell the audience, the listeners and the viewers, who is Michela Silvestri?
Absolutely. For the ones that know me, for the ones that don't, I currently leading the institutional business development team in Huobi Global, specifically in EMEA. I started my journey in crypto assets 5 years ago, back in Venezuela. I'm originally from South America. Speak 4 languages.
Oh wow!
I've been in the space for quite a long time, and I'm pretty proud to say I have experience in a lot of parts of this ecosystem. I went from central banking to investment banking, and now into a centralized exchange. I started my career in central banking. Pretty much after my 5 years of uni, my first job was a one-of-a-kind role in the Central Bank of Venezuela. They were trying to put together the first national currency.
Yeah.
Petro, I think you
Petro,
remember.
Yeah.
Which was backed by the mineral and oil reserves of the country. And for me, that first experience was very challenging because it was a wave of new knowledge that I needed to absorb. After that, pretty much went to investment banking, and after investment banking, here I am, and I haven't looked back since then. Currently, in my job, I'm leading all the major initiatives that drive revenue in the region. Pretty much need to make sure that I apply local strategies all the time to not only increase market penetration, but also increase the user acquisition and revenue, of course. And it has been a great experience so far.
Amazing. So yeah, it has been an amazing experience. 5 years is, I assume, and I probably say, like, all your family back at home, everybody's very proud of you, and such a short career, so much accomplishment. So yeah, you have worn so many hats that you just explained, from being the blockchain advocate to being a risk analyst at Citibank, and now being the institutional business developer for Huobi. But which one has been your favorite one, or which one has been the role that you have connected the most with?
I would say definitely Huobi, and the reason for that is because I finally landed in a job in which it fulfills me every day, if it actually fits my vision. On a daily basis, I need to onboard traditional institutions into the crypto space. I need to onboard Web2 companies into Web3, and that means not only welcome them to our organization, but also ensure that they go from a stage 1, which is the very beginning, an introduction to Web3, to also the last very step, which is applying or transforming their business model or completely adapted to Web3, right? And it's very, very exciting. Is working with regulators, policymakers, industry peers to make sure that those new users that are coming to the space are well informed as well educated to make well-informed decisions on a daily basis. So I would say it's very, very fulfilling.
So that's amazing. You're basically showing at institutional level how to move from Web 2 and Web 3, and obviously come from your experience as well. So tell us what inspired you to make that move from Web 2 to Web 3 all in.
It's very funny because I didn't land in Web3 right away. I had to become passionate about it. I have been working the last few months with market makers, asset managers, and family offices, but suddenly one day, what turned my light bulb on was to think, wait a second, how is Web3 impacting or shaping finance? And that changed the whole game for me. As you might know, Web3 holds that promise of allowing people to own their own data, to make transactions online, but how will this impact finance? And this is mind-blowing because from automated lending and borrowing to blockchain-based credit scores to faster peer-to-peer payments that will ultimately lower administrative costs. It's just so many benefits that at the end of the day, I said, wow, this is really the field I want to follow. If I would say one thing that I'm passionate about Web3 is definitely that field. Is how Web3 will impact finance and is beyond measured. Just to know that probably in a few years, all assets and securities will be tokenized. It's just mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. We're changing the whole industry, of course. Okay, and now you mentioned obviously Huobi has been the role that you have connected with the most. You have been working for quite a long time, as a business, institutional depth. So Huobi has 10 years, nearly 10 years in the market. So it's one of the proper OGs, OGs. So how do you feel to be associated with such a big name in crypto?
It's a big responsibility. It's of course a great honor, but it comes with a great responsibility. We are pivots for mass adoption. That means that we need to make our best to make sure that we are setting a high standard. For sure, it has been very few challenging years, and the company has very well structured team, very knowledgeable, and I wouldn't be more proud to be
Amazing.
where I am.
Yeah, and I saw you in Cebu live in London. Live, it was you and another couple of exchanges doing a panel. Obviously, there was what happened last year with the whole industry. But this question is probably related to that panel. If you have given the choice to choose which is a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange.
Pretty good question. In the spotlight here. I would say centralized. And this, of course, doesn't undermine the decentralized exchanges, but I do think the centralized exchanges are pivotal for mass adoption. If you see our leaders, let's say Justin Sun and CSET, for example, they're pivotal for that mass adoption. They are fusionating global innovation with cooperation. And that's exactly what I do think exactly that's going to multiply the adoption rate. Also, I think that after what happened with FTX, a lot of people just try to change the centralized exchanges without knowing the in and outs. Again, what I'm going to say is not undermining the centralized exchanges, but for instance, do they know that for new users that the centralized exchange shouldn't be the first step, should be centralized exchanges? The centralized exchanges are extremely complex. The onboarding process is very complex. Meanwhile, centralized exchange, the network holds the whole security. In the centralized exchanges, the consumer is responsible for the security. New users usually, they don't know how to store their keys properly. So it's actually the same level. You see where I come from here. Like it requires a lot of responsibility from the user to use a centralized exchange, and for new users, that shouldn't be the first step to join the crypto space. In terms of complexity, again, I would say centralized exchanges make everything pretty simple. Their platform is very user friendly. Again, if new users are looking for fiat off ramps, that's not the centralized exchange is not the best way. And I think it's before you transition into the decentralized exchange, and I understand why after what happened with FTX, just make sure that you know the in and outs of trading in the DEX.
I agree with you. I think so. We're still at a stage that we still need the centralized exchange. It will take a couple of years.
Exactly.
And I think so a mixture is good right now, but I think centralized exchange needs to be here to stay for longer.
Exactly. And just one note on that is like 90%, 95% of the volume in the whole market is still being transacted on centralized exchanges. So these DEXs are extremely illiquid sometimes, and people need to be careful about those small points. But pretty much recommending everyone to know the in and outs before making that transition or try it out.
Amazing. And you mentioned from the beginning that you're helping a lot of companies to go from Web 2 to Web 3. So which are the first steps to onboard a Web 2 company and take it into the Web 3 space?
Very good question. I have known a few business developers that try to onboard a business into the product suite of their organization, but once they do it, the first thing they do is adapt the product suite to the business, and should be the other way around. You first need to understand, listen to the client, listen to the brand, listen to that company you're trying to onboard, listen to their business models before you actually offer a product in return, or a product that solved that need. You need to understand what are the pain points and how Web3 can solve those pain points. So pretty much it starts from the other way around. Try to understand the client. Then once you understand the pain points, the challenges, the whole business structure, then starting slowly to see what's the best solution in Web3 that can be adapted to that. And also, I think it goes parallel. If you're onboarding a company into Web3, or onboarding that company into the product suite of the exchange, make sure that they are ready and knowledgeable about our product. So we have the responsibility of teaching the people taking decisions in that company about Web3. So it's actually you should apply certain educational initiatives to help them understand the in and outs before they actually join.
Okay, next question, Michela. So you just mentioned from the beginning that you help companies to go from Web 2 to Web3. What is the first step that this company need to have?
I think what the framework that I recommend is always understand the brand you're trying to convert first. Understand the company that you're trying to help with that transition, because usually business developers try to offer the product or service or of the exchange before listening to the client. Should be the other way around. So the client you should first make that effort of understanding the whole business structure currently of the company, understand their business model, their needs, their pain points, and then once you fully understand this, try to fusionate with a solution from the Web3 side. Then is when you understand their business models, when you bring a solution from Web3. And also, I think that it's very important for business developers to make sure that the people that are the decision makers in that company understand Web3. It's in your responsibility to teach and guide those decision makers and to show them the in and outs of the space before they actually make the transition. Educational is absolutely pivotal in all of those processes.
Okay, so, and also we were talking before about centralization, decentralization. Obviously, when the users start to get more educated, it's easier to have a massive adoption. So, is Huobi been 10 years in the industry? Is there any plans to start to create a DEX? Is Huobi has any plans to create a decentralized exchange?
Yes, so pretty much at the moment, we will never be fully decentralized, that's the truth. But we are putting into action a few products that are hybrid. And what I mean by that is a product that it will be on the exchange, so it does have those features of security, the security of the exchange itself, but it does offer the returns of a decentralized exchange. I think at the end of the day, that's what people somehow want. People want a product or want to use a service that has the returns of a decentralized exchange, but with the security of a centralized exchange. So Huobi is putting a lot of products in line for this year on that matter. Huobi Earn is one of them, already very good API-wise. But yeah, I think we will see, the trend that we will see in 2023 is for sure hybrid products.
I mean, I like that concept, hybrid products. And also, obviously, you are a trader, you know, we have so many people listening and watching this video. Traders, people that are just getting started. So what will be the recommendation for somebody that start to trade?
Yeah, my recommendation first of all is, before you actually learn technical analysis, which is the usual method or stage that people follow, try to understand as well fundamental analysis and token economics. Before you trade the markets, learn what impacts the markets. So what I mean by that is, from token economics to on-chain analysis to fundamental analysis, learn that first before you even learn technical analysis, because you want to learn what moves the market first. And with fundamental analysis, I mean, again, the news, how the system works, the ecosystem. If the majority of traders are there, 90% of the retail traders, they don't know how the ecosystem works. Do you know what is a market maker? Do you know what is a custodian? What is a central exchange? Do you know the impact of market makers in the market? Do you understand how high frequency trading firms work in the market? So go beyond that. Understand how the ecosystem is structured first before you actually start trading the markets. Go to the fundamentals, to the very fundamentals of the market before you actually start predicting from a bar closure, from a trading candlestick. Just go back, take a step back, and understand the basics first.
So, and that's why it made you a crypto G. You know so much, you have so much knowledge. And we're nearly wrapping this up, but I have two more questions. The first question, nothing to do with trader or crypto. What is your favorite animal?
Surprise, surprise, leopard. For sure.
Leopard. So, okay, we're going to give you an NFT. That's your present from Crypto G's, based on your favorite animal. And we're going to do an event in March where we put all the Crypto G's together, the people, and then we are going to do an auction. So you have to give it back to us. And the auction and the bidding, the money we crowdfund, we're going to give it to an animal welfare. So the initiative of Crypto G's to give something back to the planet. And okay, so you have so much success as such a young age. For anybody that's out there that just getting started as an entrepreneur or trader, or they just want to go into crypto, let's say Michela when she was 16 or 18, somebody very young out there, what would you give advice to that person that's listening right now?
Yeah, I think I would say become as adaptable as you can.
Okay.
A lot of people come to me saying, "Hey, Michela, how do I work in a crypto exchange? How do I follow the journey?" And I will say, if you want to be in this industry, adaptability is the number one factor.
Mm-hmm.
People that work in an exchange at the moment, we need to adapt to new trends and to new products on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
not on a monthly, not on a week, on a weekly or an annual basis, on a daily basis. So I would say adaptability is the number one rule, to be able to adapt as quickly as possible to new trends, new knowledge, because this is an ever-evolving world and it's moving fast. So adaptability is key. The ones that are not able to adapt, they won't last.
Amazing. Okay, that's a good. I think we need to adapt all the time, hourly now at this rate. Michela, it has been amazing. It's been an honor having you in the show. How do people can find you? LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn will be the best way. They can find me as Michela Silvestri, or in Twitter as Michela Silvestri, Michela Silvestri, without the I,
okay.
and in Instagram as michela.sil. LinkedIn probably will be the fastest way.
Yeah.
Looking forward for the next episode already.
Thank you so much, Michela, for being in the show, and I'll see you in the next episode. But remember, guys, we're here today in the Myco studio. Thank you so much for everybody watching this in the stream. But remember, everything we have said today is not financial advice. Do your own research, very important. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.